There we go. Okay, no feedback this time. Another round of applause. So many beautiful films. Wow. I expected a lot, and Timmy, you over-delivered on that last one, finishing stronger. Timmy O'Neill, can we have you come up? I believe, and is Martino here? Martino from Still Alive. Christophe, are you here? Is Christophe here? I know we had a couple there. Okay. Hi there. Hi, very nice to meet you. Is it? Tino. Tino, we'll go with Tino. Okay. Patricio. Christophe, good to see you again. And I know that a lot of people came in. Are there any other filmmakers that just happened to show up? Because we've been having that happen throughout the day. So if there's anyone that was with any of the other films, please, we'd love to come on up and join the discussion. Gentlemen, thank you.
Thank you, Pat.
Yeah. Such incredible stories. Christophe, we had the pleasure of meeting last night, watching a little surf in Kamachka. I sensed your froth in talking to you initially. Maybe share about how you found surfing and that spark that just kind of took off, and it takes over, does it not? It's rather infectious.
Yeah, maybe it's obsessive, I don't know.
Yeah.
But first of all, thank you so much for showcasing and selecting my film, and among all these other incredibly beautiful films and such inspiring people. So appreciate the Coast Festival for having me here. Yeah, give them a round of applause, please. I'm from Detroit, Michigan, so I feel like I shouldn't have been a surfer, but it was just in my soul. Every year we would go to Florida to see family for Easter, and I begged my mom one year to take me to Cocoa Beach so I could try surfing, because I was addicted to skateboarding. And I got a foam board that had plenty of holes in it. It got waterlogged, and I got swept a quarter of a mile down the beach and never caught a wave. And I was so stoked that I had to go and
You like the punishment.
Yeah,
that's okay.
Absolutely. So I've been obsessed with surfing since I was 14, and I sent my check to Surfer Magazine with the address in Michigan, hoping that they would actually cash the check and send the magazine to Michigan, because I thought they're never going to send a magazine to Michigan, but they did, and I've just loved it ever since.
It's a beautiful story, and we were talking about just you wanting to have that place. It's a recurring theme. Another beautiful film that we saw today, Forward, with Angelica. She just talks about how she just wants to be, allowed in the space, in the conversation. Maybe kind of speak to that, of how when it comes to surfing and kind of moving outside of the stereotypes and finding your place in the water.
Yeah, it's finding my place in the water. It took a lot of time, because I'm very. There's a lot to say on this, and I'll be as succinct as I can. Dwarfism, just like any sort of difference, is such an intimate situation. I talk about dwarfism a lot. I have a podcast where I've interviewed folks, and dwarfism is a mixed bag. I happen to be very fortunate in that I'm, physically able to get in the water and play around and mess around on a surfboard. But it's been a journey. Having a spinal fusion, I'm not able to arch my back. I have to find surfboards that are longer, have more float, have more glide and trim. And I'm not on 5'2", shortboards out in the water. But it's just been this incredible challenge that has offered me so many wins and so many waves and memories and friendships. I used to say that surfing has changed my life, and now I say that surfing continues to change my life every day, every month, just because the relationships that I've made, the experiences that I've had, I'm so glad I don't have to imagine my life without surfing.
Keep the froth alive.
Thank you. I will.
Okay, so I want to ask you about Soundscape. A holy mega mentor. We'll just start with that. I mean, it's just a collision of ability and desire. I'm still a little slack-jawed about what I just watched. I think anyone undertaking that with full vision and full capabilities. But yeah, I mean, was it something that you knew was possible, or did you kind of go into it not knowing?
As far as making the film?
Yeah, not on the filmmaking side. I just meant on to climb the Hulk and have someone follow you without the visual capabilities.
Well, we always go into the unknown not knowing what the outcome is. If we knew what the outcome was, it would be called like the TV guide, right? And then or like Netflix or something like that, or Amazon Prime, right? So, and I think on the basis of Eric, you know, adaptation is the basis of evolution, the basis of life, right? Adapt or die. So we're all forced to do it. The question is, with Eric, he doesn't have to shop at the inconvenience store, right? He's inconvenienced. You could look at that all the time, right? And I think for him, we've been climbing together for, I don't know, almost 2 decades now. And I've been wanting to do something with the way that he sees the world and try to interpret it in a film that can sort of open the aperture, right, and let more light in, right, for understanding, acceptance, a willingness to lean in. And Eric has taught me that more important than my to-do list is my to-don't list, right, to do the things that I really want to do, which is be outside, and to therefore limit the things that I don't want to do purposefully, right? I think it's all about choice, not maybe in the way that fate informs you. It happens whether you do anything or not, but in the way that, say, karma influences you, and the things that you decide to do that reflects on the world that you create for yourself.
And how about, you know, we know you've spent a lot of time in front of the camera. You know, where do you find your heart and your passion lie now? As a director, on kind of the creative behind the film, or where does it sit for you? What's driving you?
I mean, I think being the author of one's life, so like writing your story. I mean, in this case, I helped write this film and direct it and conceive of it. But I think putting myself, once again, squarely in the center of my life. And I mentioned this yesterday, it depends on how big of a space you want to create when you're at the center of your life. Can you create room for more people, for more storytelling, for more experiences? And so it's not that you have to make yourself smaller, it's just that you have to make room for others in your life, other stories, other concepts, other ways that you could live, because then it could broaden the way that you're able to understand and glean. Every one of the films that we just saw talks about the concomitant or attending nature of beauty and horror, right? So it's not that you're going to get to choose. You're going to be experiencing both. How resilient can you make yourself by sort of electing it and leaning into it?
Yeah. And empowering, as viewers, we watch, I mean, where others have these hurdles, you know, it's obstacle immunity. You take something like cystic